Morning. Welcome back to another episode of Fox Can Fix It. Today we're going to do a little bit more work on this 1973 Volkswagen engine that I picked up for 50 bucks. Again, just to review, it was frozen when I picked it up, soaked the cylinders with some ATF, got it to roll over, bought a distributor and used carburetor for it and a starter, got it to fire up, and it runs. But now we need to check a few things on it. One of the things I want to check on it is valve clearance. It's something on these older Volkswagens that needs adjusted like every 15 or 20,000 miles. I forget. I haven't looked it up. I looked it up a couple weeks ago and forgot already. You can look it up, but 15. Let's just say 15,000 miles. Could be kilometers. It's a number higher than 1. Okay. Either way, what you have to do is we're going to take the valve covers off, which is pretty easy on these. Not even bolts. It's just a clip, almost like you'd have on a brake master cylinder on, for instance, American muscle cars in like the 60s and 70s. I think most cars all the way probably through the 90s until they got the plastic screw-on caps. Basically, same sort of thing. It's just a metal hinge. So we'll need a screwdriver to pry that down. Then after that, what we're going to need is you will need a 1/2-inch drive ratchet with a 30mm socket to turn the engine over. You're going to need a set of feeler gauges. Depending on your engine, I believe it's either 6,000 or 4,000 that we're looking at for clearance. I don't know what that is in millimeters, but it's the same thing, but in millimeters. So you're going to need that. You're going to need a 1/2-inch or 13mm wrench, and you're going to need a cup of coffee. Why would you not need coffee? What's wrong with you? Okay, let's get started. First thing we're going to do is pop the valve cover off. This valve cover gasket's been on here a while, so it's a little sticky, but screwdriver will get it right off of there. And that's actually really, really clean inside. Wow. Hold on, you got to see this. Look at how clean this is on the inside. I don't know that this was run before I got it. This might be another case of somebody put an engine together, let it sit, then it got stuck, and they gave up. So, lucky me, this looks brand spanking new on the inside. Just because this looks brand new doesn't mean it's adjusted correctly. It hardly ever is. And as you can see, we've got your lock nut here, which we're going to loosen up, and here's your slot for your screwdriver to go in to tighten or loosen your valve adjustment. It's the same thing on any other 4-stroke engine, EOIC. When the exhaust is opening, we do the intake, and when the intake's closing, we do the exhaust. These two central ones are intake, exhaust, and exhaust. Well, I guess let's roll it over to a spot where we can do one on this side, and we'll get started. All right, we're going to start over here on cylinder number 2. Cylinder number 1 here, cylinder number 2. And I need EOIC, so I need the exhaust to open or the intake to close. You can hear the compression in the engine. That's good. I like that. All right, the exhaust is just starting to open. If you saw this one move a second ago, if not, back up like 3 seconds in this video and you'll see this one start to move. So exhaust is opening, so we're going to do the intake side. And right now, there is play, but there might be too much play. We want a very small number, 6,000ths. Coffee. That's where the coffee comes in. This is the one we're going to be using today. It's 6,000ths, or apparently 0.152 millimeters. Very, very thin, paper thin almost. And what we're going to do is between the tip of the valve and this rocker, you're going to slide it. And that they don't even touch. That is way too loose. So that's what we're here for. Take your 1/2-inch or 13mm wrench. As you can see, 1/2-inch does fit. And you're going to want to unlock this and hold this in place if you can while you do it. Because you want to know what your setting is to begin with. Get that loosened up just like that. Not too much, just enough for now. Then, at least the way I'm going to do it here is I'm going to put my 6,000ths back in here. That's not even dragging, and I just want it to drag a little. Not yet. Oh, there you go. I've got drag on it. So as you can see, there's only like 1/8 of a turn out. Now, what we have to do is don't let this slotted screwdriver move, and you got to lock it back in place. Or at least do your best to not let it move too much. Okay, that's one. Now we've got to repeat it on this one, and this one. Well, I guess time lapse would probably be the best solution for this. So let's try that. All right, so now I've got this entire side done. They're all at or about 6 thousandths, and if you listen, that's a much smaller amount of motion than I had before. All of these were too loose. All of these were probably set around 8 to 10 thousandths, and I'd have to go back and look in a book. That may have been what they wanted back then. Could be, who knows. Now the only thing to do is the other side, but that looks exactly like this side, so there's no reason for you to see that one. When you're done, all you have to do is take your, well, we'll wipe it off. This valve cover gasket still looks to be fairly good shape. So all you have to do when you're done is take your valve cover, put it back on here, and then wrestle this back into place. It just slides in that groove and then snaps your finger right at the end. That's how you know it's there. All right, one side to go. If you really wanted to, you could clean this up and paint it, but I'm not at that point with this engine yet. So that's going to do it. I've got one more side to do, but you don't have to stick around for that. So thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.